Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this Monday edition of Live from somewhere sunny and somewhere beautiful. Hopefully, it's sunny and beautiful where you are too. Thanks for tuning in to this Monday edition of Born to Be a Star. Hopefully, everybody had an amazing weekend. I went to the movies and was able to see. What movie did we see this weekend? It was. What movie was it? Oh, Nobody 2. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to. Last week we saw Weapons, and the week before that, I can't remember what the movie was, but we've been going to the movies every week in the summer, and it's been great. I love spending time with Skip, especially at the movies, and doing our date nights and everything that we get to do, and we're having a great summer together, so hopefully you're having a great summer too. Seeing the family, seeing the other family, seeing the kids, all of that, Benny and the fun and the sun and the pools and the bathing suits and the sand and all of it. Just a great summer. And unfortunately, the kids are going back to school soon, but I don't know what parents sad about that. None. Anyways, today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. Looking in that mirror and loving the reflection that you see in it. And sometimes that can be easy. Sometimes that can be hard. Sometimes that can be fun. Sometimes that can not be fun. Oftentimes uncomfortable, especially when you don't necessarily love the reflection that you're seeing. And who wants to experience that? I don't know anybody. But today is another day and another opportunity for us to try to look in the mirror and love what we see. Now, maybe your nose ring isn't the color you like. Maybe your eyebrows, they weren't like completed the way you wanted them to be. And maybe that blue you thought was going to look so cool in your hair looks like green. Or maybe you're a bro and you got your hair cut and they didn't know what the hell they were doing. Whatever the situation is, whether you just got a nose job or your ears pierced and they look like shit, or they look good, or your hair did come out great when you went to the hair salon. Whether it's good or bad or happy or sad, every day is an opportunity for you to love who you are and love who you're becoming. And I say that because we're always changing. And that's fine. But we should live our lives loving who we are and who we're becoming. We should start off every day by saying to ourselves, yes, I can. Yes, I can start something like learning a new language or traveling abroad or changing your major at school or switching your roommate because you want to live somewhere different. Or maybe you're tired of renting and you want to buy, or maybe you hate your car and you want an SUV, or maybe you don't like your toes, so you want to go get them done again. Maybe you want to cut your nails, maybe you want to grow them out. Maybe you want red hair, maybe you want blonde hair or green hair or purple hair. Maybe you want to change your major at school because you don't know why you're majoring in Scientology. And I got to ask you, why are you majoring in Scientology too? Because that sounds like a lot of work. Whether it's big or small, adding a new book into your book club or taking one away or going somewhere you've never gone before, knitting or sewing, crocheting, skiing, playing cricket for the first time, learning more about soccer or golf, or getting into fantasy this year for football and you want to get a lineup, you should probably seriously start looking at magazines soon. Maybe you want to learn how to paint because you want to paint one of the rooms over where you live. Or maybe you want to learn more about cars so you can do your own oil change because you're not secure in the people that are doing it when you bring your car in for servicing. Whatever the case may be, big or small, happy or sad, big or bad, every day is an opportunity for you to say to yourself, yes, I can. And you can learn how to play an instrument or sing too. Following the idea of yes, you can is the idea of never giving up. Now, we all know life is difficult and bad things happen to good people. It's unfortunate, right? When the doctor says something to you and you don't like it, then maybe go to a different doctor. If you had this weird experience and these people are saying a bunch of weird shit and you're just wondering in your head, like, am I really like witnessing this right now? Probably never go back. Just a thought. You don't have to go back. You don't have to feel trapped. You don't have to feel like you have to do things. You don't have to do them. that moment where you feel like that is an awakening in your body, in your mind, for you to leave, right? If you're not having a good experience and somebody you love died and your job's not working out and you hate where you live and you hate your car and everything is just not going the way you want, try to become the light for your own self. Try to find the light, even if you don't think you can find it. Every day is an opportunity for you to recognize that you have to fight and persevere through the difficulty, because if you don't, the difficulty will take over and you'll just be in the darkness and nothing will happen. And that darkness is not fun. So no one should experience, especially alone. There are Army Reserve, National Guard, Marines, SEALs, Navy, Air Force, ICE agents, Border Patrol, police officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses, EMTs, caregivers, and countless others that sacrifice everything to protect those around them. And when I think about the idea of giving up, I think about them and I know I can't. We all have to fight together in this battle of life. And why not fight proudly next to each other instead of scared? Fear is something that none of us should allow in. We should all ignore it. If we do that, we'll live in a better place and we'll have better lives. That's the idea of never giving up, thanks John Cena, is fighting through that difficulty, which leads us to the final stage of our daily mantra, which is, why not today? Because procrastination and indecisiveness don't make sense. Taking too long to make a decision is idiotic. How long are you going to wait to tell that dude you like him? Why aren't you changing your major at school so you can actually major in something you like? When are you actually going to apply to a job that meets your qualifications? I mean, shit, what did you go to college for, right? When are you going to live somewhere where you're surrounded by things you actually like? You're over the city now, so it's time to leave New York. You're over the water, so maybe it's time to leave Martha's Vineyard too. It could literally be anything. If you do not prioritize your life and plan 5, 10, 15, 20 steps in advance, if you're not willing to be adaptable, if you're not willing to organize, if you're not willing to make appointments, if you're not willing to do the things that need to be done, then they won't get done. And you'll just be talking about them. And your life is going to pass you by. And you're going to be dead before you know it, in a fucking box. Or even in a smaller box. So we need to figure out a way to live our lives getting things done. And the idea of that is not procrastinating and not being indecisive. Making decisions, organizing our lives, recognizing we can't stop time, control it, or buy it. So we get things done with the availability we can, and then we move on. And that's the only way to live, because if you don't live like that, you'll never get anything done. And you'll just be like, oh, I'll do it later. But what if later doesn't come? Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Quiet Place 5 should be a reason we want to get shit done in case aliens do try to take over this planet or something. And I don't know, bro. After watching the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth, I'm not convinced we are not all fucked over. Like, we really need to be focusing on space more than anything else in the world. And I don't know if the world is up to it. But I'm just saying. But moving on from why not today, let us get to the tea. We're going to be drinking cranberry iced tea today. And it's hot, so we're having it iced. Because who wants to drink hot tea in the heat? Probably nobody, right? But this is an opportunity for us to say, sipping the tea, sipping the tea, sipping the tea for you and me, sipping the tea. And this is coming out of a beautiful tea kettle. This tea kettle is silver with imprints of royal blue. That's a special one. Why not? And we're drinking it out of a gorgeous Hello Kitty mug with ice in it. Because why not? Anyways, let's sip this tea. Delicious. The first sip is very good. Let's get into it. We've got 2 topics to talk about today, and let's get into the tea. So, first topic up first. Maybe we should stop doing favors. Yes. When you offer to do a favor for somebody and you're taking your time and you're spending it to help somebody, then you're taking out time away from yourself. Whatever the fuck maybe you weren't going to do anything and you were going to stare at a wall or read a book or watch TV or stare at your dog or cook something or go for a drive or drive to the gym or go to the gym in your other room. Or maybe you were going to catch up on that chapter of the book you're reading so you can get further in book club. But whatever the moment is where you're taking time away from yourself because you're doing a favor for somebody, are these people you're doing favors for going to give you the favors back? When I'm thinking about doing favors for people, I'm reminded of the fact that I don't really ask anybody to do a favor for me. I'm reminded of the fact that basically nobody does anything for me. I don't really ask people to do shit for me because I know they're not going to. And I don't have an expectation that they would. So, like, I'm kind of baffled with the idea that I'm supposed to just stop what the fuck I'm doing to help you buy some shit on Amazon or help you find something that doesn't have to do with me. So I'm going to be moving forward in my life, not doing favors for anybody, family, friends, neighbor, stranger, nobody. I just don't want to be in this fucking existence helping people that don't deserve it. Because you're not going to get it back. And if anybody had any common sense, then they wouldn't need to ask you for shit. Now, I know in some situations the person's asking you for something because you're the only person that they have to ask you. But if that's the case, do people actually look at the decisions that they make for themselves? Do they actually look at the ways that they sound to others? Or are they just being selfish in a moment? That has me questioning a lot of shit. And I just think for me to prevent irritation or anger or any of that, I don't want to be bothered. And I don't see what's wrong with that. We have to do a better job with ourselves of stopping things that we don't like, of not being involved in things that don't benefit us. And it might appear mean, it might come across like a little bitchy or sketchy, but it prevents like irritation. Like I personally, like I'm a very patient, kind person, but like after a while, if you keep ticking the same nerve, you're going to get it. Like I might not say anything, but you're going to know I'm fucking irritated. So to prevent myself from getting to that level, I just don't want to involve myself in any situation where I know the expectation is going to be that you aren't going to do shit. So I think if you've come across that too, maybe you have, then the best way to limit that from occurring is to prevent yourself from doing favors for anybody. Which leads me to the next part of the conversation, which is if it's one-sided, there's no deal. This brings me to politics. Today, Trump had basically all of the NATO and Zelensky at the White House. And that's great. Super duper. But we've got big problems in this country. I'm just going to bring up some facts here. And this is not a political podcast. If you want to listen to the political one, it's called No Media Allowed. You can find that Monday through Friday, live every day, on any type of podcast layer where it exists, right? If the kids can't read and write in this country, and people don't know that a girl has a vagina and a man has a penis, then maybe we should be a little more concerned about what I said earlier with space. I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen Aliens, but I kind of feel like that's a problem. I kind of feel like the idea of invasion of the body snatchers could likely happen right under our fucking noses and we wouldn't know what the fuck is happening. It's kind of scary. Now, I don't know if I want to live forever. I keep trying to get an availability to become a vampire, but it's not happening, but okay. But the reason I bring up politics is because all those people were there at the White House today, and the White House is the house of every American in this country, regardless of the color of your skin or what fucking street you grew up on when you were 5. That's the people's house, right? And so I'm tired of the United States of America being involved in a one-sided war constantly. Because there was a one-sided war with Afghanistan. We were there for 20 fucking years. My entire adult life, basically. We were in a fucking war. Why do we keep getting involved in shit that is one-sided? And it's not just politics. It could be anything. It could be your own personal, like, family members and shit. Where somebody's like, I did this, and I did that, and I feel like this, and I feel like that. If you're only getting one view, then it is one-sided. And if it's one-sided, then you're not getting all of the view, and that's not correct. That's not where success stems from. That's not how you make good decisions when you're doing everything one-sided. Even if you don't like a person's opinion and you disagree with them, you still should be willing to hear it. But that is not how it works with politics. And that's definitely not how it works in a lot of relationships and friendships. And that's unfortunate, because when you witness that, when you witness somebody be greedy and selfish enough not to act like in reality, where there's 3 sides to every story, or at least 2, and you're pretending that you're right about everything. It's difficult to admit when you're wrong. It's difficult to admit when you fucked up. It's difficult to admit something did not turn out the way you wanted it to. Maybe that's uncomfortable to admit that out loud. But if you lie to yourself and you don't take any type of responsibility in anything you do, and you keep saying that it's everybody else's fault and it is not yours, you're not living a healthy life. Nothing is ever one-sided. And the idea that we want to pretend it is, like people that have bad attitudes, that are mean and negative and bitchy and judgmental, and they want to talk shit about everybody, and they want to pretend their shit doesn't stink. Those people are miserable motherfuckers. They're not happy, okay? Everybody has flaws. Nobody is perfect. But who the fuck wants to be perfect? The only way people are going to succeed is if they face reality in its face and admit when things are real and fake. And the first part of that, even the first step of it, is admitting that one-sided things don't work out. They don't. Maybe we want them to, except they don't. So moving on from the one-sided, let's get to the main part of the conversation. Thanks for sipping in this delicious cranberry iced tea in my favorite Hello Kitty mug with this delicious ice and the delicious cranberries. It was a great alternative to what I normally drink, which is chai tea. But I love chai tea, and chai tea loves me too. It is my favorite. So the main part of the conversation today on this beautiful Monday is the bliss of him. What does that mean? I am lucky enough to have married my best friend. I've only ever seen him in that way. Well, I mean, obviously my best friend, and obviously the man that I love. When I look back on our relationship together and the years we've been married and all the time we've had together, I'm full of nothing but happiness and relentless commitment to him. And I know that he feels that same way about me. There's times when we disagree and I have my way and he has his, or he thinks one thing and I think another. I happen to be very extremely emotional, like a roller coaster, and he is very blunt and straightforward. And I think that's why we match so well, because we're different. And because I'm my way and he's his, when we come together, it just works. It works very well. But I am so lucky and just so blessed to have a guy like him by my side. Somebody I can say all my secrets to. Somebody I can tell how I really feel about everything, that's not going to judge me or make me feel like I'm being mean, but instead tell me I get to have my feelings. And it's so important that you have somebody that you can have that kind of relationship with, especially if you're married to them. You want to have that friendship in a marriage like that, where it's like you're with your girls, but you're with your dude. Like, I feel like that's kind of what marriage is. Like, he ends up asking her to marry him, but there's really no difference. The only difference is the name and the ring on your finger, right? Because if you're best friends, you were always going to be best friends anyway. The bliss of him is our laughter, our dark humor, the countless date nights, the movie binges, the Hulu binges, the Netflix binges, watching hockey together, making fun of the same things, pointing out the same things, whether it's big or small, happy or sad, whether I piss him off or he pisses me off. We always come together every day. And I am so lucky. I think the luckiest girl in the world. Some people win the lottery. I won him. Some people have the most money in the world. I've got him. And as far as I'm concerned, he's better than money. As far as I'm concerned, he's better than things. As far as I'm concerned, I basically already won everything. Because I get to be the girl that stands beside him. I get to be the girl that wakes up next to him and falls asleep beside him. I get to be the girl that has his babies and the girl who his heart belongs to. And I get to be the girl who my heart belongs to him. So as far as I'm concerned, the bliss of him is an amazing thing that I get to experience every day. And I definitely think I won the lottery. Because I married my best friend, and my best friend is everything. And there's no one in the world like him. And to me, it's the greatest gift I'll ever get. It's like it's my birthday every day. Every time I'm with him, it's like Valentine's Day every day. It's like we're celebrating being married. We're celebrating being in a relationship every day. Snow, rain, sun, clouds, no clouds, hot, cold, itching. Everybody has sinuses. Something went wrong, something went great. I know, regardless of my day at work, regardless of his day at work, we're going to come together at some point. And the one thing we have is each other. Whether we're in a box, in a shoe, in a car, or a mansion, or in a palatial estate, or a 9-bedroom condominium, or a big-ass mansion in Hollywood. The only part of that story that makes any sense is as long as we're together. That is the bliss of him, and I am lucky enough that I get to experience it every day. So as far as I'm concerned, I think I already won the lottery. I love the fact that we get to hold on to every moment that we have the time to truly take advantage of, right? That we get to enjoy our time with each other, and we get to love each other even when maybe we can't stand talking to each other. I don't really ever feel like that, but I guess some people do. But you're not always going to understand what everybody is thinking, but I do think that when you have a great relationship and a great marriage, right, it just makes everything else easier. When you have something where every moment is special, like even just going to the movies or sitting on the couch and watching Netflix, to me is like winning a lottery. The small moments when we get to watch something together and we get to talk about if we liked it or we hated it. We're eating out, and do you like that? Do you like that? Try this. I'll try that. What do you think of this lemonade? Try mine. Do you like it? Like that type of relationship, I just think there's nothing better than that. And I really do believe that the smaller moments are better than the bigger ones. Sweet nights and amazing mornings is every day for me and Skip Montano. We get to experience the best life by falling asleep next to each other and waking up next to each other. Regardless of everything, we always have each other at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, and there is nothing better than that. I think the only way you can actually be in love is to be vulnerable. How do you understand the other person if you're not vulnerable with love? If you don't take everything off and you're just not butt-ass naked so they can see all of who you are? How do you really enjoy sex or love or commitment or passion or ecstasy or any of that? How are you going to orgasm or come if you're not removing your layers and being vulnerable in that moment with the person? That's how we make those babies. It's all about having those relations and feelings, right? Well, how do you get to that if you're hiding yourself? If you're not willing to remove your layers, if you're not really to be emotional and kiss and love and touch and feelings and emotions. How do you do that if you're not willing to be vulnerable in that moment? I don't know the answer to that. I say vulnerability is a big part of a happy relationship. Being who you actually are with people is definitely essential, especially in a marriage. Risking it all. Because if you don't risk it all, you're risking nothing. Moving on from love to the main part of the conversation, which is watching things. I don't know if we're going to watch Monday Night Raw today, maybe. The new season of Love Island UK is going to be on Netflix soon. I guess we're going to watch that. I don't really know what's going to be on Monday Night Raw today, but I think it's going to be whack. I'm still not okay with the idea of John Cena retiring soon. I'm still very mad, but they're supposedly going to give him his own belt. Questionable. Have you guys caught up with Cobra Kai? We need to catch up with it. 7 Seconds looks pretty good. Where is It Cake? Is there a new season of that coming out? I really did like that show on Netflix. Final Draft, Nighttown. That sounds scary. It's one of the top new things on Netflix right now. I'm going to watch it. And finally, Quantum Leap. I don't know if they made that in the 70s. It sounds familiar. Maybe they did. They continue to make all these shows over with shitty actors and really horrible storylines. I wish they just leave Matlock where he was in 1970 and stop trying to replace every show again. It doesn't work. We've talked about that before, but nobody ever listens to me. Moving on from that to eating, for lunch today, I had a kale salad with tuna salad on top of it with a delicious poppy seed dressing. And I had some water, and it was very good. I gave up fasting for breakfast, so this morning for breakfast I had a bowl of Special K, and that was pretty tasty too. My primary care physician referred me to a doctor for weight guidance, and we came up with a plan, a non-glycemic plan for me, where I could eat specific meats and veggies and carbs, and there's a plate and there's a structure for me, and it's very easy, and I think I'm going to have a lot of good experience with it. Also going to be making sure that I continue to take the medication that was prescribed and just focus on that. Going to meet back up within 90 days, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to benefit me long term. Queso chicken tacos sounds delicious. Garlic parm pasta, maybe. And healthy girl boat dip. I don't really know what that is, but I'd be willing to try it. Have you heard of it before? I love dip with carrots and celery. Who could go wrong with that? Even chips, but we should be limited in the amount of chips we eat. But give me a regular bag of Lay's with some like ranch dip. Sold. Even like buffalo chicken is good too. Thanks for tuning in to this Monday edition of Born to Be a Star. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. Hello, good morning, and good night. Please don't forget you're the beginning, the middle, and the end, omnipresent, just like Jesus Christ. Been here before, seen everything before. You are the light in the darkness. And the one thing that defeats the darkness is you, the light. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. Oh, and forgot to tell Canada that they suck. They do. Hello, goodbye, good morning, good night. Benny says bye. We'll see you later. Bye.